focus on the actual episode. I just have to say it again. Yes, we want.
I think we should use that word throughout the entire episode. Okay. What's up, hoes and homies? Welcome to misBEERhavior. If you are not our homie, you a hoe.
What if I want to be a hoe, though?
Huh?
What if I want to be a hoe?
Well, you can be a hoe if you choose. So, this is a podcast about craft beer, and I'm today's host, Ariana, and these are my lovely co-hosts, Missy.
Hi.
And Ron.
Prison pocket.
And today we're going to have a sham dandy day because we're going to drink some shandies.
Hell yeah.
So,
What's the name of our podcast?
I already said that.
She didn't say it was the 13th episode.
And it's the 13th episode of misBEERhavior.
misBEERhavior.
Okay.
Not you, right? Not you. Okay, I'll shut up.
Now, how do we go about this? Today we're drinking shandies, and I'll start with the last one we're going to do, which is going to be I had to write this out, Narragansett Dells Shandy. We have a lemon, a black cherry, and a watermelon shandy. And we're going to start with the watermelon. And also, we, as always, have our Dos Equis Mysterious Beerious. So, here is the artwork.
So our can for the watermelon is watermelon colors. It is primarily green and pink.
These are my favorite color combinations, actually.
And it's got like a picture of a watermelon on it with the Dells logo.
Let's go. These are, let's see, I'm getting old, 4.7% beer with natural watermelon flavor. Yeah, so let's do this.
We're doing 4 beers today.
Oh yes, we're doing 4 beers today. Because I had 3 shandies that came in the same thing. And I didn't think it would be, these two already knew the 3 shandies I had, I think, so.
She said, fuck it, we're doing, I like the way they look.
Yeah, it's very clear.
I'm going to say it's classic beer colors, which is nice. I was kind of thinking that. I'm like, man, I always bring such flavorful shit that doesn't even really taste like a beer. I've completely, strayed away from beer-flavored things. Like, maybe I should just go back to some beer flavors.
I know, I was kind of listening to the Beerious today, and they have, episodes where they do, one kind of beer per episode.
Right.
So it's like they did Pilsner on one, and then they do, Hefeweizen, and then they do, I don't know, just,
right.
all one kind, and then they kind of rate the different ones.
For what kind
So
of beer?
like what's the best Hefeweizen, what's the best Pilsner, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
I like that idea. We are
Party foul.
Okay. So, the watermelon shandy.
Thank you, my love.
So, Narragansett Brewing is, I think it started in Cranston, Rhode Island, but it's in Providence, Rhode Island, and it was started in 1890 by 6 German immigrants. They constructed a building with $150,000, and in less than a decade, it was the largest selling beer in New England. And it actually began as an artificial ice business. And let's see, they started off, their initial beers were like a Bavarian lager, porter, Bock, and a Gansett Pilsner. And they delivered them by horse and train throughout New England, Canada, and as far as Turkey.
Train, what year did they
So,
open?
They started in 1890.
nice.
Nice.
So, they actually have kind of an interesting history, and on their website, they actually have Rhode Island PBS had a documentary about them. But let's see. They produced 397 barrels in their first year, and then it jumped to 27,887 in their second year. And then after 10 years, it was 115,000 barrels, and that nearly tripled by Prohibition. And then, let's see, by 1910, their brewery covered 42 acres of land with more than 30 buildings. So, they have this long history. They went through Prohibition, and the way they stayed open was their artificial ice, which like ice used to be harvested like back then because they didn't,
Right,
like, have
freeze.
yeah.
No refrigeration.
So like they started artificial ice and like they delivered it and stuff. And let's see, I think they started like their location was chosen because there was natural springs. There's like so many natural springs were in there. But anyway, like doctors during Prohibition prescribed this beer as an invigorator, and like they prescribed it to pregnant women.
You need to go back to that time.
I know, they prescribed porter.
Drunk pregnant women.
They prescribed porter to pregnant women because they believed it was high in iron. And like they believed that, yeah, so that's kind of how they got around.
So this comes from the era where, hey, you know what you've got? You've got ghosts. Go do cocaine about it.
Right, yeah.
So that's how they stayed open during Prohibition.
Drunk,
Like,
drunk babies.
and I think they did like sodas and stuff too. So like, the beer can was invented in 1935, and they started canning their beers in 1936. And then they sponsored the Red Sox. They brewed 1 million barrels and gave their employees gold-plated bottles in 1959. 1975, they were featured in the movie Jaws. And then Falstaff Brewing purchased them.
This was in Jaws.
Yeah.
I might have to go back and pay attention next time I watch that.
And then the building fell into disrepair, like economically and physically. So they shut down in 1982 and moved to Fort Wayne, and then they attempted to reopen it with keg beer, and it never reached market and closed for good. And then Mark Hellendrung and a group of investors bought the beer in 2005, and they reopened as an independent brewery. And let's see, by 2020, they were the top 30 craft breweries in the nation, and then top 5 in New England. And then, let's see, they officially opened a new brewery in 2021.
That's pretty badass.
And, like, there was a lot more to that history. Like, I think they had their own radio thing for the Red Sox, and, like, I don't know, it was really interesting.
I feel like they played a major factor in the growth and history of beer.
Yeah,
if they did all of that, like I feel like they would have.
But yeah, there's like that documentary on there is actually really interesting. So like, if you're into that kind of thing, like historical type of stuff.
What's their website if you want to go look it up?
It was just I don't know, I just searched Narragansett.
Google.
Narragansett. So what do you guys think of the watermelon shandy?
I really liked it. It had a lot of beer flavor, like what we were just saying. It's got that beer flavor, and it kind of tastes like it had a watermelon fruit roll-up sitting in it and kind of dissolved in it. Like I don't know what you...
It's like a real light watermelon flavor.
Right. Kind of like when I did that shit with my drinks as a kid. Like I might put something in a water or throw candy in a pop.
We were just talking about putting fireballs in water. I used to do that.
So as far as the flavor for me, I absolutely hate fake watermelon flavor.
Yeah?
Real watermelon is fine, but anything fake watermelon I absolutely hate. This is delicious.
It is. It doesn't taste fake.
That's the key.
It's very light. It actually tastes more like a true watermelon.
It has like a very slight sweetness to it, and just like a very slight watermelon flavor.
This would be one that's definitely good to drink a couple.
Oh, right. You could drink a lot of them. It'd be like one of those things you take a 12-pack of it and you could drink it. Like it's
Spend the day working.
it was a 12-pack, but it was like
right.
Spend the day working on some, like for me, because I've been working on motorcycles. Spend the day working on a motorcycle and just sipping on that all day while I'm doing that.
It's gonna be a lawn-mowing beer. It's got that light crispness.
Yes.
The refreshing flavor.
They said they sponsored baseball, so this is a good baseball watching beer for sure.
It's a good invigorator beer. Hell, if I got pregnant again, I would totally drink it.
Well, you have to drink a porter.
Oh, damn it, right. I drink the porter.
The porter's high
It's not good for babies.
By the way, for anybody that doesn't know, shandy is just like beer and soda mixed.
That's where that is. Okay.
I had to look that up because I was like, I thought it was something like that, but I wasn't sure.
So like the Lightning Cool's Lemon Shandy is just a beer soda mix. You learn something every day. Now I feel stupid. That's awesome.
No reason to feel stupid. You learn new shit. You didn't know it.
Right. You should feel stupid if you don't learn things.
This is
But if you're not out there listening to us and you're not learning things, don't feel stupid. It's okay. You don't have to.
Yeah, you do.
You feel stupid. Feel like me. Like the stupidest stupid that ever stupid. I feel so stupid I can't even believe I put on pants this morning. But that's like really most days that you get up, you know.
I feel like it would be really funny if you forgot to put pants on and went to work. Oh, damn it.
Made me think of my mom when you said you hate watermelon flavor, like the smell, like the watermelon flavor, because they used to chew watermelon gum, and she'd be like, that shit stinks.
Like, artificial grape and artificial watermelon are two of my least favorite things.
I definitely hate artificial grapes.
I don't mind it.
Damn it.
You're fucking up as bad as I would, man.
I'm spilling water everywhere.
That's why there is a towel on the floor down there, because I'm usually spills water everywhere.
But sincerely, those are two of like the least favorite like artificial flavors. And one of the favorite artificial flavors is banana, which, as we've talked about, I think either on this or on like the butt plug, the artificial banana flavor comes from the same kind of yeast that they make Hefeweizens out of, which is why those things have banana flavor.
I can't ever taste banana flavoring and stuff like that, though.
Yeah, neither can I usually. At least
Usually, the last time it was like hot melon water. I think.
Oh God, it was Wolfpack. Is that what the beer is? It's Wolf Ridge maybe.
Maybe.
And I think I've had another beer by them. I don't like them. That's my opinion. It is not a good brand.
I don't know that I've had too much by them. Whatever I've had by them has just been on here, but. Let's see. It was their Hefeweizen that we had.
What? Not Mary?
Wolf Ridge Brewing. I do not like them. Oh,
Okay.
We had their chocolate cinnamon toast brunch. I remember having that now. It wasn't, it was good, but not like, it wasn't anything special.
I think their Santa was here was kind of like that too. Like I was expecting to be better than it was.
Right, yeah. I think anything that I've had from them, basically, I expected it to be better. It wasn't as good as I thought it was. And I know when I go to the Barrel House and buy beer, there was one day that the dude, he asked me if I wanted to try something, and it was by them. I don't remember what it was, and it was just like, yeah, this is just like pretty much all their beers. Kind of sucks. Like, not that great.
No, there's a whole lot of shit that goes into that, but it could be the brewer, it could be the water, it could just be the shit in the air of the brewery.
I feel like it's probably not. It's probably not horrible, but at the same time, I think maybe that's just the taste that they like. Hey, this is the type of style of beer that we like. You know, we like a beer to be real light, and this.
Well, like, I'm thinking that a lot of yeast goes into a lot of like the beer flavor, regardless of what grains you go. Matt, I just wonder if they just have like, you know, one type of yeast they're just tossing into their shit, you know. They've got like their own special yeast that they, you know, curated themselves or something. Who knows? Maybe that's why everything tastes basically that, no matter what the style.
The thing I was listening to today about the water too, like I was listening to some shit about like how much your water can affect what your beer tastes like. And like, I don't know if you don't get the pH just right, which I think like the reason they have that natural spring or whatever, it was supposed to be like really clear and like the pH was good and all this stuff, so it like made the beer taste better and clearer and stuff.
Hell yeah.
Well, from when I was brewing real hot and heavy home brewing and stuff, I know that like, so surface water, like river water, is going to have a lot higher pH than like, you know, spring water, which is coming from underground. Around here at least, like the limestone, if it's a groundwater source, is going to definitely cut some of the acid level, so it's going to like reduce the pH a bit. And I know there's a lot of breweries that around here that, depending on, you know, what pH they go for, they'll have like different, what was it, like capsaicin, not that, not capsaicin. They'll have different tablets to it to like change the pH balance before they start brewing with it. And they'll test the shit out of the water before they actually even get started doing anything.
A citric acid type thing, or a I can see adding baking soda, but baking soda would drop the pH.
It just kind of depends. I'm sure. For a while when I was brewing, I was using the Pickwa City water, and that is my kid once with her fish tank kit. She's like, hey, let's see what the pH is. And like just tested the pH with it, and like the amount of purple the water turned meant the pH was like high, and like maxed out the pH testing scale on her kit.
Nice.
And then after that, everything I brewed, I was like, huh.
So everything was acidic.
Yeah, everything I brewed after that, I started going with like more neutral, like bottled water kind of sources. And it did change some of the flavor of what I did. because basically if the acid's too high, I don't think the yeast is going to be as active.
I think that's how it is.
So
Very interesting.
we're all scientific this time.
Bam.
That's right.
Stop.
Sometimes. Even though Ariana said she wants to get paid to be a dumbass.
That's true. I do want to get paid to be a dumbass because this world, I'm talking about how boring it is. I'm a professional. And I don't know, I just find that being like that super boring.
Remember, amateurs don't get paid, professionals do.
Ron's a boring ass professional.
Yeah, fuck you, Ron.
He has a professional job.
I does have a professional job, and I am paid very well to be a boring ass professional.
Lame.
It's actually fun because, like, I was sick a few weeks ago, and I worked from home, and the daughter and her boyfriend, like, came in after school and saw me working, and there was something to the effect of, it was either her or him said something like, I would fucking kill myself if I had to do that goddamn boring corporate-ass job, and the way you're talking about, it pays well, fucking, I don't care.
Well, I'm saying though, like, that's what sucks about the way the world's set up is because you have to be boring to get paid well, and it sucks.
Right.
Like,
Boring.
like low-key, I've not mentioned it, but I've not really mentioned it in my current job that I've got a beer podcast. I want to let them discover it if we get big enough. I won't deny it, but
Say when.
when.
That's exactly.
When we get big enough and they discover it. Hi, employees that I work with. How you doing? And that's it.
Like, when we get big enough, I'm going to poop on my desk, and that's going to be my final day.
Did you know that you can get in trouble for assault doing that?
For assault?
Well, if it's your own desk, maybe not. But if you poop on your boss's desk,
That's assault.
apparently it's considered assault.
It'd be
I
like,
read some article where
it's like one step away from peeing on them, and what would peeing on somebody be is like an act of, like, going against them.
I don't think it should be assault. I think it should be,
Damn.
hot, right?
I don't know what that should be considered.
Golden showers? No. Brown fudgy breakfast.
Well, no, like, if you peed or pooped on something of somebody else's, it shouldn't be assault because you didn't throw it at them.
I think, maybe I'm wrong, but she got charged with something. I'm pretty sure it was assault.
That's probably the only thing they could think of charge her with. I don't know.
Huh.
I feel like vandalism would probably be more like it.
Yeah, I think it would be vandalism.
So, I'm a little bit thirsty. But when did we read that one?
I was like, I'm a little thirsty. Hold on.
We're not wrong to go through.
We do have more beer.
We gotta hurry through this today.
Not hurry.
Drink the beer.
You know what? I feel like that should be a 4. Like, I really liked it because I was just talking about earlier how I think I said that on here, not after eating, but, I'm kind of getting burnt out on this tastes so delicious and blah, 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 and it doesn't even taste like a beer taste. I'm like, I want to go back to some regular, just really well-made, normal ass beer. So you said a 4? Yeah, I'm totally good.
I think a 3.75.
I'm going to just do a 3. I'm going to try to be more honest with my numbers. And I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's a 3. I would drink it again, but I'm not going to go out of my way to drink it.
So we got like watermelon, light,
Sweet.
soda.
Yeah.
Crisp, refreshing.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. Like, I mean, I agree with Ron on his good, but not going out of your way to drink it. But at the same time,
Like,
I don't know. I guess if I saw them somewhere and that was the only beers that they had that were not, Budweiser or just like your typical shit, I'd be like, ooh, those are good. And I definitely would rush to order it if there was nothing else
like
that I hadn't tried.
if I went to a tap house and I had every single thing on the menu, or most of the things on the menu, and I saw that, I would go for 1 or 2 of those.
Right, yeah.
See, that would be one that you could probably sit and drink all day and not get too drunk.
Yeah.
Like one that you like take to a party or whatever, and it's like you're not getting too hammered too
Right.
fast.
So
It'd be one of those-
continually drink, but not.
Be one of those that because of the flavor, they like look at you weird when everybody else is just drinking like, doing keg stands off the freaking Miller Lite or the Bud Light keg or something. You just go, yep, I'm too cool for that shit.
I wouldn't even care if I got weird looks from people, but that would be something that would be easily to take and drink a bunch of them. Well, you only have to drink a bunch of them, but whatever. I wouldn't want to take like a super expensive or super thick rich beer to a party to
Oh yeah,
sit and drink for a while.
yeah, I wouldn't want to bring like a case of Dragon's Milks to
Those are
24 pack of Dragon Milk, you know, barrel aged something or other, one of those and work on that. No.
Right, yeah, you only have a couple of those. I wouldn't want to sit there and drink more. But yeah, I would totally, I don't know, that's a good.
I liked it. I actually tried it already and I was like, this isn't that good. Like I thought it just tasted like just straight up beer, and I don't know if it was something I made right beforehand or what, but I was like, man, okay, it's not the greatest, but actually I think I like it better than I thought I did.